Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Fight FriYay, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
Happy day after Thanksgiving. How's everyone doing? Come on in. It's time. It's time. Who's in the house? I think you're all making turkey soup or something. I know that's something that's on my list for sure. Turkey soup. Come on in. The water is fine. What are you up to? What does your day look like for you? Tell you, it's a busy day in the neighborhood. Let me tell you, we got a lot going on around here, getting things done. Hello, Beverly. Good to see you this afternoon and morning in California. Where's everyone else? Come on in. Hello, Doris. Good to see you. There's Anna. Happy day after. Happy day after to everyone. And by the way, if you have been getting our show notes, we've been getting a lot of really good feedback on it. Everybody's really enjoying our show. Thank you so much. Our show is called The Daily Dish Show because we're bringing vibrancy back to your everyday life, heart, mind, body, and soul, because that's how it works. You know, you can't just be one thing. You're all the things, and we honor that and recognize that, and that is our whole goal, is to lift you up and to bring you into our little circle and our great community. By the way, we have a good community that's just all the things. Hi, Marianne, Gwen, good to see you. So today is Fight FriYay and also Q&A FriYay. Who else is here just excited about that? We have only a couple of questions. It's my fault. I hadn't talked about it much this week. You know, you can send your questions in any time to support@savingdinner.com. And all you have to do is put question for Leanne on Friday. It will get into the queue. I will answer it next Friday, I promise. This is an opportunity. Nutrition, supplements, cooking, whatever. We can help you out with that. That's how we work. I'll talk to you. Somebody's asked me about Marla. Marla's doing okay. I talked to her the other day. You know that Ben has passed, and it was the day before Thanksgiving. And, you know, she's had a lot this year, so we just need to keep Marla in our prayers and keep the whole family in our prayers. We love her, and it's been a rough go. So he's out of pain now, and we all, you know, we send our best and we send our love. There is a fundraiser for Ben. You can find that on Marla's page, on her personal page, Marla Watson Silly on Facebook. You can see it there, and if you feel led to contribute, please do, to help the family with the expenses, if you would. That would be really kind. So anyway, I talked to her, and she's, you know, she's a trooper. What can I tell you? She's a trooper, and you know, she's the matriarch of the family. She's holding everybody together. That's how she rolls. She's a love. So lots of prayers. When we pray, you know, when we put our hearts together, I think that has an impact. I believe we feel that. So make sure that you've got her at least in prayer, and if you're able to contribute, that would be lovely. Our quote of the week this week, the quote is just really great because, look, conviction and convenience don't live on the same block. Hello. Everybody, don't you love that quote? That is one of the best quotes I've ever read because, you know, we have this idea that when all of a sudden we're convicted, now it's just going to get easy. You know, we have this conviction. I've just got to eat healthier. I have to exercise. I need to do these things. Well, guess what? It's not going to be convenient. You're going to have a little bit of a struggle. I hate the word struggle, but there it is. And if you just take it in for just a minute and understand with all of your heart that you have the ability at any time to push away from this whole place of struggle and to lean in to what's going on and to get over that hump. We can do it. We can do it. We are created that way, you know? And all we do, when we do that, we're exercising our decision muscle and we're making ourselves that much stronger. And strong women are wise women. That's what I have to say about that. Do you know that we have sent out more of these mugs than ever before? I mean, you just would not believe how many orders we have been fulfilling around here. It's been quite busy, and it's been a delight to see all of you taking advantage of our Black Friday, early Black Friday sales over now. But boy, oh boy, did we move some product. Some of you have some stuff that is back ordered. It's all coming in next week. Please be patient with us. If you have any concerns on when you're going to get your stuff, will you please do this for me? Just, you know, send in an email to support@savingdinner.com and just say, hey, where's my stuff? And we'll let you know exactly what's going on. But we have everybody, believe it, we have everybody ready to go. We have everything ordered. Everything is coming in. You just blew us away. And so we had to get back on it. So I'm just letting you know what's going on with that. Okay, that just makes it so that, you know, you're fully aware. And we had a couple of things that just, like for example, I don't think we've ever pushed as many beauty supports out the door as we ever have. I mean, case after case after case. After that testimonial from Wendy about growing hair, it was just amazing. So it is Food Fight Friday, and you know what, I get so I forget about it all the time. But we had a sardine challenge. Do you remember that? I said, hey, come on, try some sardines. And a lot of you tried the sardines, which was awesome because sardines are such a great omega-3 fatty acid type of a thing. I love sardines, and there's a particular brand that I like, Wild Planet. I've shared them with you, and they are an extra virgin olive oil, so you don't have junky oils in there or whatever. But junky oils is one of my big things. If I could get you to declutter your pantry and get rid of all those garbage oils, I would be happy. One of the ways that we take garbage oils in is with mayonnaise. And this mayonnaise is by Chosen Fruits. It's a traditional mayonnaise, but it's made with avocado oil. This is one of our oils that is a good, clean, healthy oil. Well, this avocado oil mayonnaise doesn't have any garbage in it. There is no, you know, crappy canola oil or vegetable oil or soybean or cottonseed or any of that garbage oil. It's really good stuff. So let's clean up those oils. Get rid of all the Wessons and all of that other stuff and all the stuff that's sitting in your cupboards. Extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, and that mayonnaise, man. Get it on point. We get this, I believe we get this one through Amazon, or I know we have gotten it at Costco before. Great avocado mayonnaise. You can also make your own with an immersion blender. It's egg and oil is essentially what it is. So it's fantastic stuff. Anyway, make a food swap, will you? Let's fling this one out the door and let's bring in the good stuff. Bing, bing, bing. Oh, grapeseed oil is a little dicey, you know, Anna. It can be a little bit inflammatory. It needs to be expeller pressed, and it also needs to be kept in the fridge. So oils can be a little dicey. I'm really, from the ones that I have studied, all the oils that I have studied, the cleanest, best oils are avocado oil, fresh pressed extra virgin olive oil as well. And pretty much there, you know. And then there's a few, you can use like a toasted sesame oil for drizzling after. That's a good oil. It's like a flavored oil, but just keeping your oils very simple. It's time for everybody to make an oil change though. These are one of the most inflammatory things out there. And if we have crappy oils, we're gonna get crappy health in return. That's just a huge thing. And it's interesting because I've been watching, there's been a lot of people coming along on that saying, you know, same thing. It's just really pretty critical and important. We have 2 questions today. That's all we have. But you know what? They're good questions. Coconut oil is fine too. Coconut oil, you want virgin coconut oil that you get in the tubs that are nice and hard. Yeah, you can do that. That's fine. Coconut oil is fine. I forgot about that one. Now for me, I used to use coconut oil all the time and I burned out on it. And then I found too that ghee, which is basically butter oil, has a whole lot more stability as far as heating. Coconut oil only has a 375-degree smoke point, whereas ghee has a 450-degree. Yes. And also, yes, you should never heat extra virgin olive oil over 325. And you only know that once it starts to smoke. I have a lot of recipes. You'll see them that'll say, heat your extra virgin olive oil. It's from years and years and years ago, because we have thousands of recipes. Remember, I've been doing this for 20 years. And as our knowledge grows, so do, things like that grow for us. We get smarter as we go. But my big thing for us for cooking, we use ghee, and we use a little bit of avocado oil. I have a little olive oil thingy that I have right next to my stovetop that I found in France when I was in France. And I only put the avocado oil in there because that's what I use for cooking. My extra virgin olive oil is always salad dressing, always drizzled on top. It's just too good. Although TJ Robinson, who owns the virgin olive oil, the Fresh Pressed Olive Oil Club, if anybody is part of that, we get it all the time, and it's just the best olive oil I've ever tasted in my life. He says theirs is a lot heartier and that you can use it for cooking with. But the whole thing is watch your heat and watch your smoke point. If it starts to smoke, your oil is bad. Okay, deal? Pinkies up. Okay, so the first question that we have are any of the supplements safe or recommended for kids? She's specifically asking about the multivitamins, and this is our own Amber. Well, Amber, your children are young. I would say for a 12-year-old and up, our multivitamin is fine. These are not formulated for children. However, we might be putting a children's vitamin on the menu next year, 2021. We have thought of it, and what I'd love to do are the gummies, because kids love them, without so much sugar, because unfortunately they have a tendency to get really sugary when they do this. But I'm talking to our formulator and saying, what do you have? Can you do gummies with stevia or monk fruit? Can you make them less sweet and sugary? So anyway, we are looking at that. If we can get some gummies, they will be in the door. Okay, I'm just letting you know. I'm a stickler about it. I ordered during the pandemic. I ordered some blackberry gummy things, and they were like 14 grams of sugar. I'm like, forget about it. Just ridiculous. We don't need that kind of thing. This next question is from Shannon. And this is a really good question because I know a lot of you will have these kind of questions, and it's about hormones. Don't we all have them? Unfortunately. Shannon says, I've been having my period since late August. Oh, that must mean that she's had it continually. Okay, this is very perimenopausal, by the way. She's just turned 50 a couple of months ago. I've been going to the OBGYN. They did an ultrasound biopsy and have an upcoming saline-infused sonogram to see what's going on. And meanwhile, they said my iron levels were low, and they would be if you've been bleeding continuously since then. So I'm taking 65 milligrams of iron two times a day, obviously under your doctor's care. I have the Core 4 and multivitamin that you have, and I'm going to start taking regularly. That's good. Do you have any guidance on the iron and what I should be doing to get my hormones back in shape? I'm so tired of the situation. I can well imagine. I'll tell you something. This is my God question that I'm going to ask. Why do women have such problems with hormones when we go through all the stuff and men really don't? So I have that question when I get to heaven, and I'm sure the rest of you do too. But anyway, back to this whole thing. The only way that we can really evaluate what's going on hormonally is to do a hormone test. Now, this is done with a blood test. This is done with a doctor who does the full panel, and they're looking at your progesterone, your estradiol, your estrogen, all your testosterone, the whole 9 yards, because everything affects everything. Progesterone basically is like the precursor for forming estrogen. We have like 3 different types of estrogen that we make, and without going into graphic detail about which one is which, because it really, at this point, it doesn't matter. What's important is that you understand that what we're trying to do here is do a little cleanup, because what happens with our hormones, and when we get out of whack a little bit, stress plays into it. An unclean diet, for lack of a better word, plays into it. So we need a massive cleanup here. This is really critical and really important to help you get back on track. That's not going to put your hormones back on track, but it will help. The only way that you're going to know what needs dialing in is going to see a bioidentical hormone specialist. It's a doctor, but they deal with bioidentical hormones. It's critical, and it makes all the difference in the world. There's a hormone patch. Oh boy, Vivel is the name of it. That is a clean estrogen that you just put on your abdomen. It makes all the difference in the world. It makes all the hot flashes and what have you go away. However, for you, this sounds to me, sounds way more perimenopausal than it does actual menopausal. However, with all of this going on, you're gearing up, girlfriend, and it's a wild ride. It can be a wild ride. So here are my recommendations. Number one, start with the sprint, and use the sprint as your guideline, because the sprint is optimized for being an anti-inflammatory plan. It puts you back in balance as much as it can without going in and doing specifics for those hormones. That's number one. And number two, evaluate your exercise. Now, your exercise needs to be toned down just a little bit, especially with all this bleeding and what have you. That's really hard on your body, and it's exhausting. And obviously you're depleted of iron. Make sure that you got some vitamin C in there, because vitamin C is what makes the iron absorb. Okay, and that's going to take the wind right out of your sails. So just be thinking in terms of restorative type of exercise, yoga, walking. Very little HIIT training. Right now, what you need to be is very gentle with your body, and just that movement alone is stress reducing. Absolutely, you need a meditative practice. At least 15 minutes of meditation in the morning. I would even suggest it at night, and I would have a very intense, very purposeful nighttime routine to bring the stress levels down. We have to understand what hormones are. Hormones are messengers for different parts of our bodies, and it's not just the sex hormones that are involved. You got the endocrine hormones, you got the whole system of hormones, and when one is misfiring, you can pretty much guarantee that the rest are a little out of whack too, because we want them to be in balance. And balance means that they need to be fed the food that they need, and this means they need fat. That's what makes hormones fire, by the way. And it needs to be good, healthy fat. We just had a little talk about good oils and bad oils. So you make sure that you've got good oils. You can throw some butter in there. You can add nuts to that, avocados, of course. And all these things are really going to help your body to start feeling better and bring the inflammation down. That in turn helps all functioning parts of your body. The other thing is get your hydration on and your sleep. The sleep is it's exhausting not getting enough sleep. Make sure you have your sleep dialed. Now, a sleep routine is something that should not be overlooked. One thing that can really help with especially with hormones, is going to bed at the same time every night. So make sure that you're like in bed, in a perfect world, at 10 p.m. every night. Make sure maybe have an Epsom salt bath for 20 minutes before you go to bed. And then bring the lights down, use blue blockers, glasses for any screen time, so that it's not going to be messing with your circadian clock, so you get right in there and get that sleep. Because I found that people who have these kind of hormone problems also are having sleep problems, also have stress problems, and also have all of these things that are just not there. But the biggest thing for you is the stress. Bringing the stress down. You could even do, and I have done this before, I use Brain FM. It's $49 for the year, and it has wonderful meditative music, focus. I use it for focus when I'm working at home, and I have to write a sales page or something like that. That's when I use it. If I'm writing a blog post or writing something, there's creative flow. There's all kinds of stuff in there. And there's meditation for 15 minutes at a time. So I would do that 15 minutes in the morning. I would also do it maybe in the bathtub at night. Then I would put lavender, lots of lavender, Epsom salts, 20-minute soak at least. And then, you know, nice coconut oil or whatever, and go to bed naked. Dark, cool room, even with a white noise machine, so that you have just the optimal sleeping arrangement. Cotton sheets, all the things. These are the things that really will help. But you need to get, to get a full idea of where you are, you have to go to the place of having a doctor, not just any doctor, but a doctor who deals with bioidentical hormones. There's a huge difference between bioidenticals and just regular hormone therapies. The regular hormone therapies come with a list of contraindications and some scary stuff, not the bioidenticals. And they're made with things like wild yam, and they're dialed in just for you. When I was living in Charlotte, I had to get on a waiting list and wait 3 months before I could see my bioidentical doctor. But I felt like a new woman. And they tested everything, all A to Z. And once you're past your period, then they can do things like pellets. They can do all kinds of stuff and keep you in flow. So I love a silk pillowcase for your face, but not for your body, because it's just, you're kind of flipping all over the place. I like cotton sheets. You know, a nice cotton sheet is really important. A weighted blanket. We have a weighted blanket that's wonderful that I sleep with every single night. You can find it on the Leanne Recommends page. It's fantastic. Yeah, the patch saved my life. But at this point, she's perimenopausal, so the patch probably wouldn't be a recommendation right now. More, the recommendation is going to be just getting her hormones dialed in, probably some progesterone and all that. But so she just needs to get, seen by a bioidentical doctor. Now, here's the bad thing. Most of the time, it's never covered by insurance. But for me, I remember I paid $500, I think, for everything, and for me, that $500 gave me my life back. I was no longer drenched in sweat 8 times a day. I was no longer a mess. But, I was also starting at ground zero. I didn't do any of the things that I just told you about. No meditative practice, nothing. I just thought, gotta get these hormones fixed. My head's on fire. But, once I started to see that this is something that needed to happen, I figured out just from my own, place of where I was, this also helped me get my endocrine system straightened out, because I had Hashimoto's. When I started in with the anti-inflammatory diet, no dairy, no grains, none of that stuff. When I started out with the meditative practice, when I started out with all of those things, it just made such a difference. It calmed me. And when we're calm, and we can use breathing techniques, and we can use meditation techniques, journaling, and just affirmations that just underscore how we want to feel, that makes all the difference, because it will change the whole trajectory of how this whole thing goes. For me, I was on, like I said, my head was on fire, the whole thing. And then when I got the hormones under control, and I stilled my thyroid, and then the rosacea and all of that, it was just basically my body saying, you are inflamed, you are on fire. So if we can cool the inflammation, if we can cool the inflammation that's going on between our ears and bring everything down a notch and get into the place of in control and calm, then that's when we start to be, we have a little bit more control in our lives, and we can start handling things better. That includes our hormones. It's a strong recommendation. It is an on-point recommendation, because if this is where you are right now with your hormones, it's going to help you. If this is where you are with your thyroid, it's going to help you. If this is where you are with a life that just seems like, out of control, it's going to help you. It's a bookend kind of a thing for your life. You start the day off right, and you end it correctly as well. It's honoring to your circadian clock, and it's honoring to the way your body functions. I can't recommend it enough. Having a meditative practice, and just, your journal, and just bringing all of that stuff right back down to center. Because that center needs to be nurtured and loved up. This is our soul. This is our beautiful self. This is where we really do live. And when we do this, our empathy expands. Our happiness expands. The contentment in our life expands. and our focus changes. Instead of looking at the problem, we're looking at the solution. And have you noticed how much better you feel about your life when you do that? So that's my big wish for you. And Shannon, I wish you the best. I really do. And if you want to send in an email and tell me where you are, I can maybe find a good bioidentical doctor for you, because I know a few of them all over the country. And now the good news is a lot of them are doing doing stuff, you know, almost remotely. So you can just send your stuff in and just do a Zoom call and get it all dialed in. Pretty cool. Anyway, all of that stuff is important, and you know, I'm really glad that you sent that question in. I'm happy to support you, Shannon, on your journey as you get this all taken care of, and happy to support you. If you have a question, send them in to support@savingdinner.com. Question for Leanne on Friday. I'm happy to help you, happy to support and make sure that you get the information that you do, or at least I can refer you to somebody who can really help you. The other thing that I want to say is thank you to everyone who participated in our pre-Black Friday sale. It was tremendous success. And again, we have your backs. We're going to take good care of you. We've got quite a few packages that are waiting for some stuff that's coming in on Monday. But don't worry, we've got you. Everything's going out, and I promise you we'll take good care of you. You might get 1, 2, or even 3 shipments. Some of you ordered the world, and we will be sending it out to you as soon as your order is complete and ready to go. So, happy day after Thanksgiving. Don't throw that carcass out. Bone broth, sisters. I'm talking serious bone broth. You know, that's what I'm doing with my little carcass. And I really appreciate you, by the way. Yesterday was a day of Thanksgiving. I mean, I didn't even get online. It was so lovely just to, you know, not get online. And Mark's family had a Zoom call, and I said, oh no, that means I have to put makeup on. So I did, and you know, we just had a nice time. Mark and I did our Thanksgiving together, and it was such a lovely time. You know, it was quiet. Missed the heck out of my daughter, missed the heck out of my son and Mark's daughter, Leah. But next year, my goal is to have the whole family together. It's going to happen. Thanks again for joining me, and I'm so glad you made it. Mimi said she made my turkey, and it was always amazing. Fantastic. Well, you can still get those menus there at savingdinner.com/thanks if you want them, if you still want them. It's the day after, but we got a good chicken feast right there for you. The other thing that I'm going to say is get the show notes. We put them out every day right after, and it's just, you know, just subscribing to our newsletter. All you have to do is go to savingdinner.com. It'll pop up, or it'll be on the side, and just put your name in there and your email address, and you'll be getting our show notes. You want them. They're super helpful. And we appreciate you and really love you. And we will see you tomorrow for Soulful Saturday. Peace be with you.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.